morning, good afternoon.
Yeah.
It's my brother Jared.
It's afternoon.
It's afternoon. And we are in your what?
Chevy Colorado ZR2.
So I've been trying to talk him into getting an overlanding rig now for a while. And honestly, it only took about 3 days.
It wasn't a while.
It was 2 weeks of me dropping hints, and then I just said, hey man, what if we can get your payment lower and you can become a full-time rigger and overlander? And he said, well, yeah. And then his wife was like, I don't know. And then what'd we do?
We made it happen.
We made the payment lower.
Yes.
And got a ZR2 Colorado. So the plan for this build is to do your seatbelt. I mean, rule number one, brother. Rule number one. So the plan for this build is a full adventure rig. And the fun starts today. You've had it for not even 48 hours.
Nope.
And we are going to try to build a custom bed rack for a regular pop-up tent. Obviously, the market...
Now it's your seatbelt.
Dude, that's brute. Well, I'm doing this, so I don't know. Obviously, the market for the overland adventure vehicle, the market for the... You get it, but it's expensive.
Yes.
The rack, $1,200 I think is the cheapest one we found.
Yes.
Rooftop tent, right around $1,000. So obviously budget overlanding is going to be the key here. So what we're going to try to do is build this out of 1-inch aluminum. The video will probably do a better explanation than what I got right now, but that's going to be our plan for today because we are headed out to New Mexico. Once this this stay-at-home order is lifted, obviously. But so that's what we're going to do today. You can follow along, tell us what you think. The Colorado is actually pretty sweet, and we'll do a more in-depth look at it here in a little bit. But we're about to get started, and I don't know if it's going to be great. We might break it.
Got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Put it up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go? Are you ready? Ready for more? Are you ready? Ready for me? Hit it big. I got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel.
Okay, so explain the plan. So here's the brief plan.
Rough idea.
So let's see it.
Right here, aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Right over there, same thing.
Okay.
And then you take this here,
Oh man.
inch aluminum tubing. So we're gonna go across.
Are we welding?
No welding. I'm not a welder.
Okay.
Wish I was, but I'm not.
All right.
Just like this. Spacing, obviously. Everything will be bolt on.
All bolt-on applications.
So I can take it off when I'm not overlanding and I'm working.
But when are you not overlanding though?
Well, I'm always overlanding.
Okay.
But sometimes
As long
I
as
might
we're
not
clear.
need the tent.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask a question that somebody else is gonna ask.
Uh-huh.
Seems a little long. I'm gonna level with you.
So I'm gonna cut these.
Okay.
Whatever I need them.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna build the fold out part.
So it's going to fold, this portion is going to be the extension for the tent,
Yes.
and it's going to fold in.
Yes.
Okay, what is going to be our top section here?
PVC, kind of like plywood.
PVC
4x8
board.
sheet,
Okay.
1/2 inch thick,
Okay.
waterproof.
Yep.
Don't ever have to worry about it.
Are we keeping these just the aluminum? Or are we doing anything to these?
Spraying these
Okay, we're gonna spray them.
like a bed liner.
So that,
like
okay.
black.
All right. So, and that's gonna be the rig.
That's it.
And then how will this
That's it.
connect? How are we doing that?
Well, unfortunately, I got to drill through here,
Okay.
bolt it underneath, and these are going to be the same. So I'm going to drill through this,
Yep.
through this,
Yep.
under the lip, which is right here,
Okay.
and then it's going to bolt on.
All right. So if you guys haven't already, like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And we're going to get into something that I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't expect to get into today. Thought we were going to do something a little different. And he showed up with a bunch of pre-cut aluminum.
Here we are.
So here we are. And I'm just going to keep trying to document it as it goes, and hopefully nobody loses a finger to the grinder. All right, so if you can see, the aluminum we cut exactly 5 feet. And we're measuring 2 inches off the truck. The nice part is these lines that go right down this bed rail are what we're using to line up to make sure we're perfectly straight. We cut the other one to 54 inches as well. And we're going to be able to pretty much be right here at the edge of this bed with the cross rails going across the bed.
This side's going to be a little bit in.
And this side it looks like is going to be just a little bit in, about say a 1/4 inch down here, maybe about an 1/8 inch on running down. So that's where we're at so far. We got everything cut, and now we got to cut the square tubing so we can get this kind of pseudo mounted. So we'll check back in once we get that done. All right, so the moment of truth is now, because what did you just say? You said,
I said I'm getting ready to drill a hole through the bed of the truck I bought not even 48 hours ago.
so drilling into your brand new vehicle, it's just part of Overland lifestyle. You just have to drill into the vehicle. Yeah. So every 14 inches on center from the end point, we're going to be putting a hole through the aluminum, through the bed, so we can bolt everything so this can all be taken off. These were drilled in and then screwed from the bottom with the lock nut on top. And the PVC board is going to sit over top of these, and we're going to put holes so the PVC board sits flush on these rails. So go ahead and start drilling, brother. Gotcha.
This thing.
All right, back from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Got
Classic
something.
second trip to Home Depot.
Classic. So we used for the aluminum Dupli-Color bed armor. So it is basically like a spray-in bed liner that you can buy at pretty much anywhere, any the parts store. And we have painted all of these with that bed liner. All the edges that are going to be exposed or be on the outside, we painted all those with that spray-on bed liner, just so it looks cleaner. He said, I'm just bought this new truck. I'm not gonna do anything, you know. I'm not gonna do it like you would do it. I'm gonna do it like I'm, you know, build it. She's probably right, but so, you know, we're back. We got a couple pieces of steel that we're gonna use for this section here, because when you're sitting on the edge and you're taking your boots off at night or whatever, and you're getting into the tent, you know, they're a little bit flexible, we'll call it, not flimsy, flexible.
Yeah.
So we're going to put another piece back behind it of steel, same 1-inch tubing, and that will support the weight there. We're going to add, what are we going to add? One more here? One more piece?
Two more pieces.
2 more pieces of aluminum? Or two,
Yes.
we're going to use steel here?
2 more pieces of aluminum, and then I got angle iron to stiffen those two.
And we're going to stiffen the rest with angle iron. So you could definitely have used just steel. The reason we didn't was it's not as heavy to use aluminum, obviously. We are going to reinforce with some pieces of steel, but all in all, this thing's coming together, and it's rock solid. It's a great engineering, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep working on it, and we should have it done before the end of the day. Day 2 of the bed rack install. What are we going to call this thing? It doesn't matter because it's going to be less than $400 for a custom bed rack, an overlanding bed rack.
Yeah.
So we took it off yesterday and laid it over there in the garage. We thought it was 4 bolts to take it off. It's 8. And then once we screw that PVC board in, we're gonna have to unscrew that plus take the bolts out. So a little bit more work. Yeah, because we're not gonna be able to get to the bolts because that
Crawl in.
I guess I could crawl in.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be day 2. We should have it wrapped up in probably a couple hours.
Operational.
Yeah, and then we'll be able to get some videos and pictures of it fully operational. So we're gonna get started on it today. We're gonna have to do some more grinding. We had to grind the hinges yesterday because they were too big. Definitely could have got smaller hinges. Definitely could have welded it.
Yes.
But we didn't weld it because we don't really know how to weld. So the bolts actually probably ran up the price pretty heavily. The bolts and washers and nuts. So we're gonna get after this today and probably have her done in a couple hours and then go test her out. We can go camping tonight?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so now we're building the hinge portion that will open up where the feet are going to be in the tent. The feet are going to be in the tent, right?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. So the cross rails that were cut for this frame are 24.5 inches. This will pretty much make the full platform. The tent is 7 foot 4 inches. So the tent itself long is 7 foot 4 inches. The whole platform when it opens up will be right around 7 foot 2 inches. So it'll give it a little space on either side for the tent to be staked to the ground. So these 2 frames, and this is the hinge system that we kind of came up with. The hinges had to be ground down when we should have just bought a smaller hinge, but that was an accident, so we just had to make do with what we had. But this will allow it to open and close. When you get to camp, you open it up, you lay your tent down, stake your tent down, and your platform's ready, and you'll still be able to use the tailgate to hop up in to the door of the tent. So we're gonna get this put together and I'll try to show you what it looks like when we get it on. All right, so here's what it looks like completely opened up. And then the hinge just hinges in,
Well, I gotta
closes down on itself. We still gotta grind some bolts off just to give us a little bit more space, but this will slide in on itself, sit down on itself, and that's it. So we're gonna put another piece of aluminum or something on a hinge to give it some stability down here, and then that should all just fold onto itself. At least that's the plan. We're getting pretty close. We should have a finished product here before too long. All right, so after all is said and done, this is what we got. It's literally perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but it's pretty freaking good. I mean, that's some pretty decent engineering.
It'll work.
If that's not a DIY, I don't know what is. How good do you feel about it?
I love it.
I mean,
I went
it's,
into this getting a temporary bed rack, and I may have a permanent bed rack.
I mean, she's sturdy.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna try to put the 10 on her, see what she looks like, and make sure she holds up, and get this bad boy cleaned up and get her on the road. It's a full rig.
It's complete.
Look at it. So freaking sweet. It's a full rig.
It worked out perfectly.
Perfectly. So I would say the engineering of it was, it's a couple days. I mean, it's 2 full days worth of work. Well, a day and a half.
Yeah.
So impact,
Drill.
grinder, so dangerous. We
Socket.
use socket set wrenches. We use a circular saw. You can use a circular saw or a table saw. We've used PVC board because it'll hold up to water better. 5/16 nuts, 5/16 bolts, 5/16 washers all the way around. Obviously, if you can weld, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. I don't know about time, but that's all it was. I mean, whole thing under 400 bucks.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent rig.
All I do is win, all I do is win. Oh my, no, I never fold.